This week, we nerd out about that amazing 2-episode premiere of Daredevil Born Again. We talk about a lot of new MCU and DCU speculation, and we get really excited for one of many upcoming events. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert. This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week, we're back to talk about all the fun things happening out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump into that, Taylor, what are you nerding out about this week, man?
Well, a few things this week. Once again, PlayStation has given us a few free games this month with the PlayStation Plus, and I got Sonic Colors. Have you ever heard of it?
I have heard of that.
I can play it for like 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes before I start to feel kind of nauseous.
Yeah.
It's very fast. I haven't played a Sonic game in a long time, so it's kind of hard for me to get my bearings on it, but it's been a lot of fun. And then the Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they just like released it for free, so I can play all the old Ninja Turtle games.
Oh, that's really cool. I have the little Switch cartridge for that game, and if anyone's wondering, yeah, the original Ninja Turtles game on the NES is just as frustrating as it was 30 years ago.
But at least you get like continues and stuff, and you
That's
can
right.
save.
That is true. You couldn't back in the day.
It makes it like infinitely, for some reason, even though it's like ridiculously difficult still, it still makes it infinitely easier for some reason that you can save it.
Oh, yeah. You're less likely to rage quit when you know
Yeah.
you can start at your last milestone.
Yeah, exactly. You know what game I would love to play that I would love to remake? And this is going to be kind of niche, I think. But did you ever play the Uncle Fester game on the NES?
Yeah, Fester's Quest. I remember that.
I would love to play that game, like a remastered version of that.
I don't remember where I ran into it, but there was a website where you could just play it right in the web browser. And this was sometime in the past year or two. I remember stumbling across that and I got sucked in for a solid hour. And I'm like, nope, I got to get up. Got to do something else.
I wonder if is it on the Switch?
I don't think it's on the Nintendo Switch online. Okay, what I'm seeing is it's not on the Nintendo Online, but you can play it on a website called retrogames.cz.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, I might have to check that out. Maybe that's where I found this a couple years ago. I just remember thinking, man, I loved this game as a kid, and I can see why it's very challenging, but you just want to keep going.
Yeah, it's quirky.
Yeah.
I think the artwork I remember being like really weird. There were heads that had tongues that spit out and their eyeballs would roll back in the back of their head, but it was just like a head bouncing on the ground. And it was the weirdest artwork, and I remember loving it as a kid.
Yep. Well, let's see. My nerding out, it feels like a cop-out to say the same thing 2 weeks in a row, but I am so obsessed with Stardew Valley.
2 weeks in a row, this is like Wicked all over again.
I can't help it.
Better.
I can't help
You
it.
gotta do better.
It's
You
so
gotta do
good.
better.
One of the things in the game is if you are a male character, you can pursue a female character that's in the game. And obviously my character's named Billy, and there was an Emily character in the game. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to marry her. Yeah. And
Are you?
anyway, long story short, every week in the game, you can earn a heart worth of friendship level. And after 10 hearts worth of friendship level, you can ask them to marry you. And long story short, she said yes, you guys. But
you bamboozled her twice now.
the selfish side of things, once you have a spouse in the game, they water all your plants for you, so I'm good.
That's so.
Listen,
Well, I thi-
I'm not misogynistic, but now I can go fight in the caves without worrying about my plants dying.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, the game is so fun, you guys. It is so, I don't know, time, like you get sucked in so easily and time flies because it's very, I don't know, it's very fun. Well, hey, let's jump into the news. We got a few things to talk about, and then a con we're going to talk about. But let's start with Marvel. Dude, what did you think of the first couple episodes of Daredevil?
Oh man. So I'm on episode 2. We
Okay.
watched the first one and had to take a break.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, okay, gotta watch something else now.
Obviously, spoiler alert, everyone. Dude, they killed Foggy in the first episode.
So wasn't that actor, didn't they say he wasn't gonna be in it at all anyway?
That sounds right.
If I remember correct. So I think we probably should have known that was coming.
Yeah,
I wasn't suspecting it at all.
I wasn't either. But when it happened, I was like, no!
Oh, I know. Well, I saw it and I was like, are they really gonna kill him off? So like the whole time I really didn't think he was gonna die.
Yeah,
Like I was kind of just like, okay, he's gonna be really injured and probably gonna be in the hospital the whole entire first season or something.
yep.
And then when it like spewed out her hand, like then I was like, oh, that's it right there.
Yep. But yeah, the show was awesome. Had a lot of references to other things in the MCU, unlike the original Daredevil series. It referenced events from Echo, and it referenced all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they totally cemented it straight into the MCU and made sure that you knew this is the same Kingpin from Hawkeye and from Echo.
Yeah. But the show was so good. We're recording this on a Tuesday, which means tonight episode 3 drops for us.
Quick question. Bullseye doesn't die,
Yeah, he didn't
right?
die. That was so weird.
So does that mean he already has his adamantium skeleton?
I don't know. That is a good point. And if you haven't watched episode 2 yet, you'll see him again. You'll be enlightened on a little bit.
Because that's why he is so notoriously hard to kill in the comics.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if they do go that route, because now that we've had Captain America 4, we know that adamantium exists.
What if they make him a mutant?
That would be interesting too.
And that's his mutant power, the whole aiming thing.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
he's also just has healing factor, like a lot of mutants do. It's like a side mutation.
I don't know, like that would make sense to go that route.
I mean, it's not like it's a character that you can not change quite a bit. For the most part, I mean, there's aspects of that character that you don't want to change, but for the most part, you're dealing with like a blank slate. He's a psychopath. He really hates Daredevil. He's a marksman, one of the greatest assassins in the Marvel Universe. You know what I mean? He has adamantium enhancements. There's lots of things there, but personality-wise and stuff, and not personality, but make him a psychopath. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can change a lot. That would be an easy change without really changing the character.
I agree. That would be kind of seamless, especially with the route they're supposedly taking the whole MCU. Throwing in mutants this way would be logical.
And then I had another a thought the other day about mutants in the MCU.
Uh-huh.
What if the mutants in the MCU are the people who got taken away and then brought back?
Oh, from the snap. That would be crazy.
Like, what if the snap was the thing that altered the DNA?
That is such an interesting thought that I never thought of. And hey, your track
I,
record for predicting things on this podcast is pretty solid. So that'd be a cool twist.
I mean, that one's like a really weird, like out there thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
But what if that is the catalyst for that? Because we're still trying to figure out. I mean, it's not like people know there are mutants out there. Well, certain people know that there are mutants out there,
Yeah,
and we know that there are mutants, but well, that wouldn't explain Kamala, though.
that's true. Maybe some people are just needing some kind of catalyst, and some people it's just very obvious in their DNA or whatever.
Yeah, maybe so.
Same with Monica Rambeau, her going through that wall of power from the stone, the stones also activated the snap. What if it, like you said, was a catalyst or something?
Yeah, it'd be like a DNA trip
Oh,
of some sort.
that'd be super cool, actually. You're calling it now, man.
I'll say that is a possibility. We'll say that.
I like it. Well, hey, it sounds like on April 4th, so 4/4, we're going to get a full-length trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps. So that's kind of cool to be looking forward to.
Yeah, it's like 5 days before my birthday.
That'll be a good little early birthday present.
It will be. That whole month is full of crazy good things for me. because my wife bought me, my father, and my son and her tickets to go see Monday Night Raw, April 28th. So
Nice.
I'm very excited. So this will be my second wrestling event that I've gone to. The first one was their SmackDown event. So this will be a Raw event, which I'm pretty pumped about.
Oh, that is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm especially excited for the kid. We got him his little like headphones for his ears,
Yep.
that make him look like a dork, but they're awesome.
When we went to the monster
And
truck show, Henry totally wore some of those, so I get it.
oh yeah, we want to do that next time it comes around. They come around a couple times a year, don't they?
I think so.
Because if I remember correctly, I feel like I've seen him in the spring and then we see him sometime in the fall. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I just remember they loved it. For me, it was pretty entertaining, but the boys absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's big giant trucks. I mean with
Smashing
crazy
stuff.
yeah, and doing flips and things.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Let's see. Speaking of Fantastic Four, we know that we're going to see Doctor Doom pretty soon, portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. And I just saw in an interview that he was doing, he said that he is actually writing the backstory for that take on Doctor Doom. So when we finally see him in the movie and learn some things about him, it's going to be actually written by Robert Downey Jr. So I think that's kind of cool.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I guess he's getting a say in his character's past.
Okay.
Yeah, he must be very invested in this role.
So Pepper's gonna die in his universe.
That would make sense.
I mean, maybe.
Let's see, Hawkeye season 2. I just saw a big thing about it, and it sounds like, and this is all rumors, but it sounds like they want to make season 2 very much like Die Hard, where the whole time they're in a building, it's Clint and Kate in a building, and they're trying to escape, and it is just full of bad guys. And it's a whole, the two of them against tons of people trying to get their way out of this building. But if that's true, that sounds kind of cool. A Die
That's
Hard-esque story.
no, I love bottle episodes.
Yeah.
The idea of that is amazing. I love that. What are they going to break into the hand headquarters?
Ooh, I don't
Oh,
know.
that'd be really cool. Because then it'd be like there'd be like a supernatural element to it as well.
Yeah. And speaking of big buildings, the director of Thunderbolts was just in an interview and he confirmed that Avengers Tower was indeed purchased by Valentina and she's actually renamed it the Watchtower. So this was confirmed by the director of Thunderbolts. So we will see that building again, but she owns it.
That's the name of the Century's headquarters.
Well, that makes more sense then. I haven't read a lot. I don't know if I've read anything with him in it. So yeah, I'm very excited about that movie. We're about a month and a half out.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it, honestly, and then I'll see a trailer and I'm like, oh yeah, that's so exciting and it's so close.
Yep.
So it's like a surprise every time.
Vin Diesel was recently in an interview and he said that Disney is working on a Groot-led movie about Planet X. And I think that's kind of cool.
Will it be like one of those like animated shorts, but like full length?
Maybe, because he said movie, so I don't know.
Like is it like a kids movie? Like that?
He didn't say one way or the other.
Huh. Groot led movie. I mean, it could be just Groot is the leader of the new Guardians, but
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense, isn't it, Rocket?
I do believe it's Rocket, so yeah, that wouldn't make that much sense. Maybe it's like a prequel or something, a backstory movie. How does he
Yeah,
wind up with
maybe.
the Guardians or something?
Yeah.
So Marvel has released their whole slate of movies, and there was an unnamed movie slot for November 2026. Some news came out that it sounds like that unnamed movie in November 2026 is either going to be Black Panther 3 or Shang-Chi 2. So there's a little bit of speculation there as to which one it's going to be.
Shang-Chi 2.
I'd be cool with that. I miss that character.
Didn't Ryan Coogler already say Black Panther 3 is done or like written or like something like that? Like I feel like that it's already they're way further with that than Shang-Chi 2 because wasn't Shang-Chi 2 basically going to be the lead into Kang? And then once that got scrapped, that's why that didn't keep going at light speed.
Maybe. I'm not really sure.
If I remember correctly, like Shang-Chi was like the main character of like the Kang Dynasty movie. Him and like Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. After all those post-credit scenes with those guys that never came to any further fruition or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see, last couple things with Marvel. Over in the comic books, A new Predator versus Spider-Man comic is coming out, and that sounds really fun.
Crazy.
And in video games, the game is just called Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. It sounds like they're putting a holiday 2025 release date on that.
Is that Black Panther Captain America game?
I think so. I think so. It
Okay.
takes place in the 40s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that game.
Yeah, got some fun stuff coming. Over with DC, there's not much to talk about this week, but we know that Clayface is getting his own movie. It sounds like he was going to be the villain of Batman 2, but because he's getting his own movie, they're going to go a different direction with Batman 2, and the villain might be Mr. Freeze. But the craziest twist is I saw somewhere, this part's a rumor, the villain playing Mr. Freeze might be Giancarlo Esposito.
I can see it.
I can totally see it with the glasses and
Uh huh.
making him look all frozen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Let's see. Alan Richson, the big guy that plays Reacher, he was recently in an interview. There's all these rumors. Oh, Alan Richson's got to be Batman. It's got to be him. Got to be him. In this interview, he said, "Look, guys, there has been 0 people approach me about being Batman, but I have to put this out there in the universe that I would play Batman for free."
Interesting.
So that would be crazy if he became Batman.
Yeah.
Over with Star Wars, we know that Andor Season 2 is coming, and it sounds like Jyn Erso from the Rogue One movie might show up in this series, because Season 2 is what leads right up to that show. Now, we know that those characters didn't interact a lot before all that, so I wonder how they would put them together, but I'm just very excited for that show, because Andor Season 1, once you get through that slow burn, it is so good.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll just show what's going on from her point of view for an episode
Yeah.
before it leads into Rogue One.
Yep. Oh, and Invincible keeps being awesome. I know you're almost caught up, and this week the finale of season 3 comes out. So by next week, we will possibly have been able to watch the whole series. But man, it's been so good.
Yeah, it's been great. The addition of Oliver is huge on that show for me.
Yes. He's going through a lot, trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong, and kind of seems to be fibbing a bit, doing a towing the line and not telling the truth about it. And
He, as a person who's read the most of the series, I can tell you he's a little bit more Voltramite than human.
I can pick that up. So yeah, that makes sense.
He got a little bit like a 60-40 blend there,
Yep.
if that makes sense.
And the 40's not even human. He's a bug thing.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, did you happen to see it leaked online this past week? The trailer for the unaired live action Powerpuff Girls series. Did you see that online?
I never got around to watching it, but it's like saved in my watch later on YouTube.
It's, I get why they didn't play it, honestly. But would I have watched it? 100% I would have watched it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you when I watch it. From what I've heard, it sounds hilarious.
Donald Faison as the professor had me sold, so. Let's see, the last thing we're going to talk about this weekend, by the time you're listening to this, if you're in the Kansas City area, you need to hop in your car and drive on down to Wichita, Kansas for Kansas Comic-Con. It's the same people that put on Missouri Comic-Con in Springfield and several other events around the country, but this is one we're going to be at, and hopefully we're going to be able to interview some cool folks and all that, but I thought I'd do a quick rundown of the celebrities that are going to be there. So here's just in no particular order. The first guest on the list here is Emily Swallow. She is the armorer in The Mandalorian, so that's pretty cool. We have Kari Payton, who is Cyborg on Teen Titans, King Ezekiel on The Walking Dead. He's 1,000 other voices out there in cartoons. Really cool guy. Excited that he's going to be there. Oh, we got a couple of Star Trek The Next Generation folks. We got Gates McFadden, who played Dr. Crusher on there, and John Delancey, who played Q. But for some of you other fandoms, John Delancey is also the voice of Discord on My Little Pony's Friendship is Magic. And yeah, all you bronies out there. And and he's the air traffic controller on Breaking Bad. If you remember when Walter lets his daughter die and he kind of
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was him. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Let's see. Jim Cummings is going to be there. Got to interview him last month at Springfield. He's a cool guy. You guys all know who he is. Austin St. John, the original Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, he's going to be there. Grey Delisle, we interviewed her last year. She's, Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender and about 1,000 other things. Daphne on Scooby-Doo. Billy West is going to be there. Same with him. Got to interview him last year. Fry, Zoidberg, the professor, all kinds of folks from Futurama. He's Doug. He's Ren and Stimpy. He's awesome. We got a few anime folks going to be there. We got Alejandro Saab, Todd Haberkorn. We've got John Swasey. He is the voice of All for One from My Hero Academia. So I'm excited to get my Funko Pop signed by him to go with my signed My Hero Academia Pops. Oliver's excited for me to get that. Scott Innes, who was interviewed by us last year from Scooby-Doo, he's going to be there. Marty Grabstein, he's the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. For all you horror fans, CJ Graham, who plays one of the Jason Voorhees, he's going to be there. Taylor's probably excited about these guys, these wrestlers. We got Kane, we've got Lex Luger, Jimmy Hart. And probably the highlight of this event, I might say, is the original voices from the late 80s, early 90s original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. We've got Rob Paulson, who's Raphael, Cam Clark, who's Leonardo, Townsend Coleman, who was Michelangelo, Barry Gordon, who was Donatello, and Renee Jacobs, who was April O'Neil. They're all going to be there. That's going to be so cool to meet those guys. I've got a pop for each of them to sign. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So when you have so many pops, you just carry them in like a suitcase?
You know, I bought this backpack. Well, first of all, let me
Or
back
do you
up.
flatten them?
When I flew to Rhode Island, I flattened them. There was no way I was going to fly with that much stuff. When I go to a multi-day event, I just bring a few each day. And when I go to a one-day event, I actually bought this backpack that expands outward. So
Okay.
I can fit about 10 pops in this backpack unfolded.
That's intense.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. That's awesome, though.
Yeah. So I have about 5. I want all the turtle people for sure this weekend. That's my goal. And there's a few comic creators. We got Michael Golden, Arthur Sudium, Renee Witterstatter, and Jeremy Clark. But yeah, this event's going to be fun, guys. We're going to be there. And if you see us, give us a shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Come by, say hi.
I'll bring some, got some buttons and some cards and stuff. So if you need some Taylorverse merch, hit me up.
For sure, for sure.
But hey, that is all the news for this week. So you guys need to go out there and catch up on Daredevil and Invincible and play some of these video games we're talking about. But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.